Yeah, hi there. These comments are for, I'm going to use just the first letter of your first and last name, so HK. So let's take a look at your question. You say, I've taken 2 elective courses with you during my time at Cal State University, San Bernardino. Right now, I live in Pittsburgh. I'm having problems with the Toefl exam, especially the reading section. My last 2 test scores are 68 and 69. I'm targeting at least 80. Okay, so I see what you're talking about. So what you need here is to get 20, 20, 20, and 20. So your speaking's already pretty strong, between 22 and 23 points out of 30. Your writing is also pretty good, between 18 and 20 points. So you want to work more on the reading and the listening. Okay, so you said you think if I rejoin your 7-step system, I would be able to get better results. I'm planning to take the exam at the end of April. I'm going to say maybe. I can't tell you for sure, but I can tell you what you need to do. There's basically, HK, 4 things that you want to do to improve your reading. And 3 of them you can do directly at my 7-step system to pass the Toefl IBT. One of them you need to do on your own. Now, the first thing you want to do before you do anything is get a book from the bookstore. Maybe it's 2 to 400 pages. Usually a nonfiction book will work best, and read it. Each week, try to read a new book. Try to read approximately 200 to 300 pages every week over the next 2 months. This is very important. So you want to read about 45 to 60 minutes a day every day. HK, a lot of research says that if you practice reading extensively, it helps you develop the thinking and the speculative type thinking that you need for a new language. It also helps you concentrate better when you're reading TOEFL passages, because you've already had experience reading college level materials extensively for a long period of time. That's number one. So you don't need to get that at my website. You need to go into a bookstore, go to the nonfiction area of the bookstore, and buy your first book, right? And once you're done with that, get another one. When you finish that second book, get a third one, and just keep going. If possible, try to read dozens of books, nonfiction books. Now, the second, third, and fourth things, you can do these directly at my 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. So what you can do here is, the first thing you want to do is develop a better vocabulary base, because the more vocabulary you have, the easier it is for you to read the passages on the TOEFL. And that's what you want to do in my vocabulary step number 1. Learn the words there. There's 1,700 vocabulary words, along with practice exercises and quizzes and audio files to help you learn those words. You want to do that first. Now, let's forward and go to the reading part of my 7-step system. So in the reading step, there's 2 basic things you want to do, HK. Number 1, just make sure you review the lessons that focus on the TOEFL IBT question types for the reading section of the internet-based TOEFL. You want to make sure you go through those lessons for 2 purposes. Number 1, you understand what kinds of questions you will be asked when you take the TOEFL IBT reading. And then secondly, how to answer those questions. So make sure you have good, strong test-taking strategies, and you know what they are before you take the TOEFL test. Now, the final thing you want to do in my reading step is be patient. This takes some time, but you want to do it. You want to improve your reading speed to a minimum of 300 words per minute. In my reading step, HK, I have 70 different speed reading practice tests. Start at the 100 words per minute practice test and do that one, and take it over and over until you get at least 80%, and then go to the next practice test. Each practice test is 5 words more than the one before. So if you take the second practice test, it'll be 105 words a minute. The third one's 110, and on and on and on it goes. So you want to keep taking these practice tests until you have achieved at least 300 words a minute. Okay, so I think that's pretty much what you want to do here. So let me just recap one more time what I've said in this video to make sure you have the basic ideas here. There's really 4 things you want to do when you're improving your reading proficiency. Number 1 is you want to practice reading extensively, about 45 minutes for a long period of time. Number 2, improve your vocabulary. Number 3, make sure you learn the Toefl IBT reading test taking skills and strategies. And then finally, increase your reading speed until it's about 300 words a minute with 80% comprehension. And again, reading faster, it might sound crazy to you, but if you can read faster, you can remember more, you can concentrate better. If you read slower, you'll have more distractions in your brain, and you'll find yourself having to reread things over and over. So those are my suggestions, and thank you for contacting me, and all the best to your high-scoring TOEFL success.